We all know about the Shure mic, right? There you go. You got one.
SM7V.
You know the deal. You know the deal. I was like curious, like when I got this, and I was I was doing some research. Obviously, like this is like the most popular mic probably out there, and I was just asking myself, and I talked to one of my buddies who's a producer himself and a rapper. I said, yo, like what is the like, can a mic that costs significantly more than this, like how much different can it possibly sound? Because I was like really curious about it until I hear like the one, like that brand. I don't know all the brand, like the exact model numbers, but that brand there, and I've heard some examples of it, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. I understand.
Yeah, but I will say the SM7 sometimes, like in recorded music, like my producer sometimes is like, you need to use that mic, not this one, because he likes the body that it gives to your voice. It's not as tinny, as crisp. Sometimes you want that like full sound,
That makes total
I love
sense.
the SM7. Yeah, it really just depends what you're looking for, I think.
Yeah. Have you ever used it? I was watching, I think like a radio station like interview or something like on their YouTube channel, and I saw that all of them, this is like a while ago, but I saw all of them were using this mic, but they were all using it without the windscreen. Is that what this is called? This piece, the foam piece?
Yeah.
And so I was just curious about it. I know what it's for, and I was like, that's interesting that it's not there. I mean, maybe I don't know. What were your thoughts on that? I was just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I would think they would need it. Like
yeah,
the
right.
plosives would just be
yeah,
intense.
exactly.
Although I guess don't quote me on this, I might be wrong, but I think this mic is very similar to like the stage mics, like the SM7 or the SM57, 58.
Yes. Okay.
So maybe it's fine, but I've never used it without the windscreen. I thought it like desperately needed it, so I don't know.
That's what I thought too.
They got away with it. Maybe they have a chain or something on the back end that like takes out the plosives.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I saw it. I was impressionistic. I was like, well, I guess I have to try it now too. So I actually did it for like a couple of days or whatever. I don't know if I noticed any significant difference, but I just wanted to like stand out from the pack and like have something that looks slightly different. And I was like, cool.
People are like, what is? Yeah, they're like, what is that?
Is that the new the new version? Is that the 2022 SM8B?
Right.
Is that what you have there, Kevin?
And you're like, yes, actually, I'm gonna make a whole YouTube video. I'm gonna unbox it.
Yeah, there it is.
The real deal.
So look, I wanted to start off and tell you that you may not know this, but a while ago, before I started streaming on Twitch, I had joined your Twitch stream. This was maybe, I don't know, like a year ago or something, and I remember being taken aback by everything that you were doing. It was like you had like almost like a variety show, and obviously the best possible, most affectionate way. You had kind of like a variety show type thing going on there. And I was just kind of blown away because at that point I had, of course, known about Twitch as being like the thing for video games and Smash Brothers and stuff, which I play extensively. As a matter of fact, I went in there on my Nintendo Switch just to see, and I shouldn't have done it, to see how many hours I put into Super Smash Brothers, and it's like over 800 hours. I'm very embarrassed about this. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
an accomplishment. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
that's impressive.
Okay, thank you.
To me, that's self-care, right? Like taking time, doing stuff that you love that makes you happy. Like, no shade.
That is 100% it. Yeah, I totally look at it that way, as a matter of fact. Just like anything, you find the balance. But for me, like that, I used to play a lot of basketball back in the day. And that competitive aspect and like the just fun aspect of knowing that after work, I used to work at Verizon. I used to do engineering and stuff before this new version of me, Khordmaster Reborn, into doing what I do now. Yeah, totally different path. I was actually just thinking of it today when I was going for a walk with my wife. I was like, dang, like that was like 10 years ago. I lived a totally different life, driving into the city and doing all this stuff that's so different than anything that I'm doing now. But super appreciative of obviously the experience. It's wild. It is so wild. It is.
Does it still feel like your life? Like when you think about that, does it still feel like that was me?
It doesn't. No. Interestingly enough, because it was so long ago, and it's something that unless if I'm actively thinking about it, like I was today, I just almost forget about it. It's like so far in the distance, and my mind is very much focused on this stuff, as well as, I don't know if you know this about me, but check this out. Look at this. What do we got there? I don't know if you can see it. Is it a little blurry? Okay, you see it. Okay,
No, I
good.
did see
Yeah.
it. I saw it on
Okay.
Instagram too.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Congrats.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, that's right.
so
I
exciting.
mean, yeah, super. I'm just so excited.
Oh my
You got
gosh.
the baby like moving
I'm
around.
excited
and
for you.
Thank you so much. It's just, yeah, things are really going well, and I'm just, making sure to stay humbled in the process and making sure to not get flustered by things that don't matter that much, because they really don't matter, because things are, I'm blessed that things are moving in a direction that I'm able to like do this, have conversations with people across the US and get inspired and meet them. And this is, I was really looking forward, and I'm so glad you reached back out too. Like I knew, like, when I hit you up before, I know like obviously schedules and stuff like that, and to be able to set some time up, But back to your what I was going to tell you about your stream. I was just like, it was so cool, because at that time I thought it was like gaming, and I thought, and don't worry, you'll get a chance to talk to. Don't you worry. It's about,
I don't mind. I do enough of that.
Okay, got you. Well, same here. So neither of us should probably talk. We'll just sit here and stare at each other.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, so I knew gaming, and I knew a little bit about music, but then like this whole other thing where it's more interactive and talking and having little segments and just kind of doing that type of thing, I just thought was like the coolest thing in the world. And that is partly, right, what inspired me to kind of start. So I have you to thank for that.
Oh my God, thank you.
You did not know that probably at all. You had no way of knowing. Yeah,
I did not know that. That means the world to me. Because when I started on Twitch, I had never watched a stream. Well, I'd watched a few music streamers, but I never watched a gaming streamer. And so I never really knew like how exactly the gamers were being entertaining. Because honestly, for me, like, I think it's fun to play video games, but I couldn't imagine myself watching someone play video games for a really long time, So I was kind of just like doing whatever felt like fun, and just trying to find out what that meant to me. But a lot of the time I feel like that's just chaotic and hard to follow. So sometimes I wonder, is this the thing, So that means a lot that you said that.
Well, you know what? I'm in a season where I just think it's so important to share things like that with people, because like without me telling you that, obviously you have no way of knowing. And I know what it means to me when people, when I remember when I first started my, content creation journey and put myself out there a couple of years ago. And I remember a couple people, right, would say, that it inspired them to do X, Y, and Z, like after they would see the consistency and like they see after me posting really just, nonsense or just whatever I wanted to post, and then kind of being a little bit more structured with the music stuff and seeing the progression, that was stuff that moved the needle for me more than almost anything else. Like I was like, that's great that I'm inspiring people and stuff. So I've learned what it means to me. So I'm like, if ever there's an opportunity to share with people who've become, more than acquaintances, right? Who become people that, I check in with and things like that, like yourself. And I just think it's super important to share it. So there it is.
100%. There it is. No, I mean, what's interesting about what we do is it's isolating in a way. I mean, it's very social, right? We're talking to people, like on stream, there are people there, but really the only thing in the room is you. You click stop streaming, and then it's just back to you. It's back to your life, and you don't really know truly, like, if you've made an impact or if anyone really, it's hard to really connect in that way. So it's just amazing getting to like meet people. I know we're like meet, but we're talking right now, and it just feels like it's just so validating. It's so much more validating than like, during a stream where like I'm not really being able to like see their face and hear their voice, and that's, I mean, it's just a trip. So I mean, it means a lot.
It is. I'm glad, definitely glad it resonated. So one of the things I love asking my guests to start off with is like to go down go on a trip down memory lane. And like, I want to know a little bit about and by the way, do I call you Anna or Carmela?
You can call me Anna. That's fine.
Okay. So okay. No problem. So I want to know, no, just, someone asked me that. They were like, hey.
If we're going down memory lane, that's Anna, right?
Before that's true.
She's maybe now Carmela.
Right. The second half of the conversation, we'll just start calling you Carmela. Actually, it'll be like very like, yeah, there you go. But yeah, so I want to know a little bit about like who you were growing up. I want to know like what young Anna was like growing up. So talk to me a little bit about that.
God, I was kind of shy, I would say, as a little kid. But I was also very mysterious. Like I would like be stirring up little drama. Like I'd be like, "Hey girls, go to the boys' lunch table and like put trash on their table and like make them get in trouble." He he he. And then no one would suspect it was me because I was really shy.
Okay.
And I was a little quirky. I was always into like really like weird things. My friends and I were just like in like 6th grade we're playing pretend while other girls are like, ooh, like, thinking about boys and stuff. Like I just was just a really weird, quirky kid. I had like very few friends, but we all like we're really close. And there's still parts of me that are like that little version, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then that brings it down. You talk about like lunchtime in like grade school and like how that was like a stressful time, like in summer vacation and like when you get, I don't know if I'm sure other schools were maybe a little bit different, possibly, but I remember like in my school there were 2 or 3 lunches per grade level, and so like man, if you weren't in the same lunch as your friends, if you had like none of your close friends within the same lunch, like that was like devastating. It's like, how am I gonna get through? Like who am I gonna sit with if like my friends are in B and C and I'm in A, right? Am I gonna be like
that?
Oh, you had all one? Okay,
yeah, all together.
Okay. Yeah, so you lucked out. You weren't tormented with that situation.
At least I could, because in classes I had different groups and the
Sure.
students, we had different teachers, but like we would at least have lunch together, like the friends from last year, we could find each other. So,
Right,
that was
right.
our time.
There you go.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's cool to me is, so I was on Raquel's website doing a little bit of like checking out some of the stuff she was doing. Same with, checking your content out. And one thing that was interesting is, let's see, I'm used to you guys and everyone else who I've sort of met through Twitch, like in their Twitch element. Like I see you in your live stream, like you mentioned before. I'm not as aware of the other things that either go on in addition to your live streaming, or even what was going on in terms of musical stuff prior to starting to live stream. So when I'm on Raquel's website, and I don't know if it was on your site or somewhere on your Instagram, but I saw it somewhere that like both of you guys, there were clips of you performing, not on Twitch, but like somewhere out with people, out in public. And I look at that, like that's a space where I'm not, I mean, I've done maybe 1 or 2, like in terms of piano, like that type of thing. But like open mic night, is that what it's called? Yeah, I did that the other day, which was mad fun. Let me tell you this. So I was at this coffee shop that I go to, and I have started to get into like singing a little bit on the piano, and I'll just dial up that reverb a little bit to give myself a little bit of body there, And it sounds like I love it. Like it's one of the most enjoyable things for me right now, like learning the chords to a song that I like, and then learning how to sing it. And I'm like, this is it right here. So going to this open mic night, I was like, I was planning on just playing the piano because I'm more comfortable playing the piano than playing and singing. But the guy was like, "Hey, are you planning on singing as well?" Or no, he didn't say. He said, "Hey, do you sing as well?" I said, "Yeah," and then that meant that I'm going to be singing there as well. So he set the mic up exactly. So then I'm like, God damn! I'm like, all right, well, I guess I have to sing now. But it was a great experience though because I did not have any reverb or any type of chorus or no effects. It was just my plain voice. And for better or for worse, I was able to hear what I actually sound like. And it was I still can carry a note and all that, But it really made me think now back at home, like when I'm singing, I'm like, and I was doing a little research too, because I don't come from like a real singing background, so I don't know about the ins and outs. But I was like, how much, if any, reverb should I be using in my home studio and stuff? And certainly I had at times I've had it like dialed all the way up where I'm just like drowning in it, where that was kind of like not the right strategy kind of thing. So I've been kind of playing around with that a little bit more. I do forget the story though that I was the point I was about to make. It was something about I'm
Live
interested in knowing live performance from your end, like how often actually, let me ask the question this way. Leading up into you starting to stream on Twitch, I'm interested in knowing like what that world was like for you. Were you someone who has had experiences doing like the live gigs and that type of stuff before? And did that have like a natural progression into your live streaming sort of current thing?
The funny thing is, I also had a massive reverb phase where I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then I listen back to those streams and I'm like, no, this is not it. Like, don't do that again. And then last stream, I accidentally had it totally off when I thought it was on. And that was interesting too. So I'm still working on that too. So no worries there.
Nice. Work in progress.
But funny enough, I used to go to an open mic every single week. Like that was my life before streaming, before the pandemic, before everything. Open mics were my jam. It's where I met like my whole band. Like when I do perform live with a band, it's how I met them all. It's how I really just challenged myself to like learn a song and just go play it and see. And then it also challenged me to kind of read the room and be like, I should play this song or this, you know, just depending on who's there, what the vibe's like. Open mics are huge for me, at least. They were huge in my just development as a performer, you know.
Wow, that's really cool.
How to like play for an audience that's like not necessarily there to see you, you know. It's a whole different thing. So I did do a lot of open mics before streaming. I was in a band, and so that was like my entire life. I was thinking, this is gonna be my future. We're gonna be touring and doing all this stuff. We did play a lot of shows, but they were like basements, college, like small college shows, you know, like venues and stuff, and it was super fun. So I did a lot of performing before Twitch.
Wow. Yeah.
Luckily, you know, I think 'cause that's really what prepared me to be so comfortable, just like playing a wide array of songs. And like half of the songs on my list I've never played, just because I've just kind of developed that confidence, at least in my own abilities. Like if I don't know the song fully, I can kind of make it up and like make it work, you know? Because beyond open mics, I was also going to a lot of jam sessions and just kind of having to like do things on the fly. Streaming's definitely helped me improve on those skills, because I think before I was like really winging it live, but I think having that experience just sort of helped now. So.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Yeah, it's like, to me it seems like a great sort of transition from one to the next. Obviously maybe it's not obvious, but certainly there are probably like really significant differences. Like one of the things that I see that I'm always just amazed at is people, like when you're performing, so you're sitting there performing a song and you are, you know, in the moment, you're concentrating on the song. But as that song is going on, there are people that are chatting, some of which are directed towards you, some are directed towards other people in the chat. There are people just entering into the chat saying hello to you. And as I've learned, like, okay, you have like that little window kind of thing. If it's a brand new person, you're like, well, I'm not going to just like go through the rest of the song and then maybe forget about saying, you know, greeting the person and stuff. So it's like a whole nother thing. It's like two parts of your brain. Like one is performing and the other one is like literally, and I like study like the eyes of people, not study, I don't want to sound obsessive, but like I like look at them to see what they're doing. They're like reading the comments as they're performing. I'm like, yo, this is like next level. And these things are going by so fast and everything. That's a skill, right?
It is a skill. It's insane. Yeah. Like I've wanted to make a TikTok for the longest time, just as like what it's like, you know, a day in the life of a Twitch musician, and just like play a song, but then have like a bunch of different things come up, like change chords here, chorus is coming up, hi, how's it going? Yeah. Do you know Wonderwall? Like just all these different comments, because to focus on like one thing is really difficult. You have to learn that. It's just, especially as the chat just gets more and more wild. And I watch that too. I watch other people. Even today, I was watching Jordan Lane. Have you ever watched her before? Yeah,
I sure have. I actually rated her not too long ago, I think.
Good. Yeah, oh my God, she's incredible.
She's awesome.
She's so awesome. And I was just in awe of her ability to just focus on what she was doing. Like she was playing an original song and sort of giving a anecdote about what it was about and just giving the backstory and kind of relating it to something she's going through now. It was really beautiful, and honestly, I felt like I popped in at the perfect moment. You ever have that where you just walk in and you're like,
yes,
yeah, it was so
this
good.
Is the moment that I needed to be here for. Yes,
right. And I'm so glad though that she continued her thoughts. She got a sub during the whole talk that she was giving. She got a sub. She had a bunch of the chat was moving and grooving, and she stayed on track though with her thoughts, and like that really it really amazed me. Like it was a really cool special thing. And I think there are some times for me where I'll see funny chats or someone will sub or something crazy will happen and it'll really like derail me and distract me. And so that is definitely something I've been working on, is just like focusing on what I'm doing, because as a viewer it's really nice to like watch the streamer just kind of like do their thing and not get super distracted. So it's like a thing that ebbs and flows for me at least. And now that I, see other artists really succeeding at that, it inspires me to just focus and like get that down, but I agree with you. It is a small window. And that's why being a musician on Twitch is just so interesting, because you're not just performing at people, like at an open mic where you're really just like in your song and everyone's there and they're hopefully not talking or whatever, or at a live performance in a quiet room, like people are watching you, so you can just focus on your song. But on Twitch it is tough. Like if someone says hi and no one addresses them, no one says anything, they're gonna leave before you're done. So it's like you do have to kind of like weigh the pros and cons just depending on the moment.
It's
a trip.
The way you said it, the ebbs and flow of it, right? It's like the balancing act of knowing that, like you said, it's a gift and a blessing to be able to like see other super talented people in their element, and like that's amazing in itself. Like there's just so many different things that we can be doing, like for entertainment or for inspiration or information or anything, but like being able to have a glimpse into, say if it's like a live learn, for example, like someone that you follow and now getting a chance to see what he or she does, like what is the process like, getting into their brain a little bit about like learning something new. I didn't realize how I guess impactful that is for some people. I used to, before I started streaming on Twitch, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. Like one of the challenges I have is a never-ending back and forth of, and I guess I'll talk about it now, never-ending back and forth of not having clarity on where I should stake my flag for my live streaming talents. Twitch appears to be undoubtedly, not appears, it is, I think, undoubtedly the premier destination for musicians to stream right now. But I have a presence already on YouTube. That's like my main sort of home for my content creation. And so I've been really going back and forth between doing sometimes on Twitch, doing sometimes on YouTube, doing on both of them, and maybe taking my affiliate status out so that I can just kind of grow on both of them. And then maybe like, it's just very like a little bit confusing, but recently, I've kind of decided that that I'm overthinking it a little bit, in the sense of whichever platform that I choose, it doesn't have to be like so paramount, like a huge thing. Like when I said stake my flag, it doesn't have to be that. It can just be, just commit to, you know what I'm saying? Like commit to, saying, all right, I'm going to rock with Twitch for the next 6 months. I'm just going to see how this goes. And then perhaps I'll have the occasional live stream on YouTube. Someone yesterday was just talking about like a good idea, because I never really talk about Twitch really ever on my YouTube content. I just, for whatever reason, I never bring it up or anything. But how easy would it be for me to start organically promoting it, or having just giving awareness, right? Like, hey, if you enjoyed this, I've streamed every blah, blah, blah on like the first comment. And so I'm trying to like figure stuff out while making sure that I'm still enjoying it, because I love streaming. I truly do enjoy it. Prior to doing YouTube and Twitch, I was doing streaming on Reddit. And a lot of people don't know about Reddit's live streaming platform, but when I tell you that the reach potential is insane on Reddit.
Yes.
You familiar with that a little bit?
Yeah. I just learned about it. I did a collab stream with Fish in a Birdcage recently.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we got to
I've heard of
meet
them.
and chill.
Awesome.
Super,
nice.
Oh my God, amazing originals. So super nice humans too. But he was telling me that he would stream on Reddit to like 500,000, like something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Because I was asking him, your Spotify music like has a bunch of plays. Like it seems like you've gotten a lot of great playlists and gotten a lot of exposure on Spotify. And he's like, yeah, it was because of Reddit. Because people would watch me stream and then go check out the original, and then bam, like there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've never tried doing it, but I've thought about it.
Yeah. I think that, I think that having that as part of the live streaming strategy, at least for me, is extremely important, because it's very much more informal. It's just more chill. And even though there's no money exchange, like people can pay for gifts, GIFTS, not GIFS, as I had to specify with someone before. But they can pay for like real life money for these gifts that they give to you. But you can't really exchange them for anything. You can only like re-gift. So it's kind of like you don't make money from that. But for me, at least, like right now, I'm not as worried about like the money. I'm worried about like the fun and the reach for people that are interested in this type of content. So that I've realized like has to be a part of like the overall strategy. People certainly have found out about my YouTube and Twitch from Reddit as well. So if you have questions, like if you ever, I think you're a partner on Twitch, I believe, or right?
Yeah.
So I think that there's there's like different restrictions with multi-streaming, but I think you can stream somewhere else as long as it's not at the same time as Twitch, I think.
I should know this, but I don't. I think
Okay.
it's something like you can't like monetize. I don't know. I'll have to look
Okay.
into it. But
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would if I look into it and I get the green light by the contract I signed that clearly I
Yeah.
did not read thoroughly
Yeah.
enough, I'll hit you up.
Yeah. Oh, please do. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask a few like rapid fire questions just to kind of get to know you a little bit better. Fun
All right.
ones.
Okay.
So first one would be name a place that you visited that you loved.
Aspen, Colorado.
Oh, do you ski
was cool.
or snowboard?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
We did some good hiking and sightseeing and bar hopping there. I mean, it's just a really cool small town.
Man,
was really,
I
really
feel like I
fun.
want to go there right now. That sounds mad fun.
You probably should. When we went bar
Yeah.
hopping, there was a bear just like walking by. It's just like the
No.
weirdest. Yes.
What? Oh my god.
It was wild.
Were
Yeah.
you scared or what did you do? Just
Well,
whatever.
I tried to like go up to it.
Oh,
and
nice.
say
I would
hi.
probably do some nonsense like that too. I love
It was
animals.
really-
So I probably would.
Me too. I was like, listen, it's like, have you seen a grizzly man? It's like, it's going to love me. It's going to be fine.
Yes. Yes. This is what you're envisioning, but in real life,
Right.
it's like, yeah, could be a
Well,
potential
see, it was
different.
a baby. It was a baby bear. So like,
Okay.
it was smaller, but then it's like, where's the mom?
Right, right. That's always the thought, right? Got to be lurking around somewhere.
Yep.
That's
Definitely.
funny. Okay, next. Well, first of all, I'm interested in that. Man, wait. So where do you live now? You're in the West Coast, right? You're in Cali,
West Coast, Los Angeles, yeah.
Los Angeles.
South.
Well, people.
South
my sister.
Cali.
South Cali. Okay, my sister lives in Oakland now, and she tells me that Cali is not really a thing. Like saying Cali is like an East Coast thing. Is that true? You
It's
don't say
like an
Cali,
East
or-
Coast, North. Yeah, it's East Coast. Never say Cali.
Cali,
Yeah.
right? That's,
I don't even
yeah.
say NorCal. Like that's a NorCal thing. Like there's
Okay.
all these little things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt so. I was like, well, excuse me. I thought I was like, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, Cali, like that's just what it. This is a lot
we're
less
like,
syllables.
It's California.
Right.
I
I'm like,
don't.
okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But people
Okay.
do care. Like that is a thing.
Oh, absolutely. I'm like, man, maybe there's other things that you probably should like maybe be caring about, but that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
exactly.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question is a movie. I want to hear a movie, not your favorite movie of all time, but name a movie that you love.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's like this. Have you
That's
seen
a
it?
good one. I have, yes.
You have?
Yeah,
I
I have.
It's just a comfort movie because it's just so silly, but it's hilarious. There's so many great one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
It's from like 2008, but it really still holds up now, I would say.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Well, the reason I reacted that way is because we had on like I guess Amazon Fire TV, like with all those different ads for different movies and all that stuff on there. And that was on there for one of the streaming services. And I was like, well, damn, I haven't seen this. I was in a total different place in my life. Like I probably saw it last when it was first came out. And so
Right.
like, I'm like, I need to rewatch that. Maybe like yesterday or 2 days ago. So I will.
That's
this is like a
crazy.
sign. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's very much
Watch
insane.
it. Do it.
I have to.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
must. Did you
Let
ever
me
watch?
know if you still like it.
Oh, I
Because
definitely will.
again, I
definitely
think
will.
it holds up, but
Have you seen it recently?
yeah, within
Or-
the last like couple of years, I think. But I just anytime I'm like, oh, why don't you just like throw on? It's a
Mm-hmm.
good option.
Comfort. I like the way you
Yeah.
said that too. Like comfort movie. Like it's something that you just feel good about watching. It's like, okay, this is
Yeah.
good. This is good stuff.
Yeah. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So walk me through a little bit like your music making process. Like I like kind of understanding. Like, are you someone who, if you didn't have a specific song, a specific project that you're working on, but you were just like, I just want to sit down and just be creative right now and just see what I come up with. Are you someone who's going to like start with thinking of lyrics, or are you going to start musically and like figuring some chords out, or does it just kind of depend on the mood?
That's a lame cop-out answer, but it totally does for me
Mm-hmm.
at least. I sometimes I'll just pick up my guitar and I just start like saying things you know, and sometimes I'll just like pick out like a piece of paper. For me though, I can't like bring out my phone and like start writing out lyrics. Just it's, for some reason I need like the physical thing. So either I have a notebook or my guitar, probably just like using voice memos, recording it, hoping there's like a little gem in there or something.
Yeah.
Or it's just for my own like enjoyment, you know. It just kind of depends on the day. Sometimes even I'll like take out Logic and I'll just like make a drum loop and like write out a bass line and just like go off of that, you know. Just kind of depends what's around and what's available to me.
What
and
inspires
also, like,
you, kind of thing.
Right, yeah, because it definitely varies for me. There's no like one formula yet. Maybe there will be at some point, but
that makes total sense. Yeah, I could totally relate to that. I actually realized the other day, like I really suck at like freestyling, you know, coming up with lyrics on the fly, right? Because and this is the reason why. Like I would
here.
Oh, you too? Okay, so not just me. It's a common thing.
No.
Okay, good.
Well, in this room it is.
Okay, amongst the two of us.
Yeah.
But I came up with I guess it was pretty profound to me, in that the reason that I was terrible at it, and you know, my wife, who actually can kind of freestyle, like she's much better than I am. So sometimes she'll, like, when she's in a good mood or something, she'll like come down and like start spitting some bars or something. Like, all right, that's some nice stuff.
That's
As a matter of fact,
cool.
It's so dope. Right when COVID hit, like originally she spit. I'm gonna say, remind me. I'll look for it. I think it's somewhere. I think on my Instagram, or was it on my personal one, which I deactivated? I don't remember. I'll find it if it's still available. But she did like a little. It was mad dope, and people loved it. But I realized that I was freestyling, and I was just 100% fixated on the fact that what I'm saying needs to rhyme. And that's what trips me up. I can't think of rhyming words on the fly. There's no possible. I can't do it. It's not going to make sense.
Yeah.
But
this happened to me yesterday.
Did it?
Exact thing. Yes.
Tell me. So tell me, and then I'm gonna put a pin. I want to hear.
Well, no. I had a notebook and I was writing one line. I really loved the line, and then I kept trying to like do like that line, then the next line, then the third line needs to rhyme with that first line that I loved, and then it was like too much pressure. It was like if I had just relaxed, I could have at least said what I wanted to say and then gone back and made it rhyme. You know what I mean? Rather than in the moment trying to like do 4 things at once.
And try to,
But anyway, not to interrupt you. That's wild.
No, so that's like a crazy forgetting Sarah Marshall type coincidence there. That's the second one of this conversation. But
gotta go finish it.
No, exactly. No, I definitely will. I know we're all over the place, but these are the best conversations. I'm watching now a documentary that I expected to be transformative for me, and because I love documentaries, and because I love the person who. Do I love this? Yeah, I love the person for sure. It's my favorite artist of all time is Kanye West. I had to think about it. Do I love him? Yeah, he's my favorite artist. I listened to him from back then all the way up and through till today. Like the longest time span, like in terms of like someone who's like shaped my music. And so this guy filmed a documentary about Kanye when he, like before he was anyone of significance. And I guess he saw some potential in him. He was like, this guy's going to be big. And so this footage that 20 plus years later, that now is now an official Netflix documentary that my wife and I just started watching. I'm like watching this through the lens of, this is like my favorite all-time artist, and I'm able to see him in the studio making the songs from the first album that like changed everything for me. And it's like, I'm like, this. I came downstairs with a mindset like I have you and I have one more actual person after this, but I'm just like, yo, I feel so inspired. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we didn't even finish watching. We just watched some, and I'm just like, let me, like, part of what's been challenging for me, and it's like a never ending, as you might know as well, as a content creator, as a musician, you may have different ideas of things that you want to do, and then your mind may race because you're a creative, so you're just like always like thinking of different things, as is the case with me. And a big part of this, I think, for me is like, yo, there is a good chance that there is, at least in the music making space right now for me, there's too much gear. There's too much things, too many things going on. I'm just like, do I want to use this? Do I want to use that? Do I want to use this? Like, what do I want to do? What I want to do is sit in front of the piano primarily and possibly have one other thing adjacent to it that, you know, can do other things. But the piano is the bread and butter, and everything else, I know it might sound a little bit kind of sacrilegious a little bit in terms of like my content has been all about that, has been doing reviews and doing different partnerships and all that kind of stuff. But my main thing is like trying to really double down on what I enjoy more than anything. And I enjoy like the creative process and like removing things that are blocking that from happening. One thing that's blocking that from happening is Instagram tremendously. Instagram is, I am like not about it. And I talk to people like yourself that are other creatives, like just seeing your reaction. And I also like,
did that say enough?
It did. Absolutely. 100%. Because it's like this app is so powerful in a positive way, because it lets us connect with each other from across the world, which is insane and amazing. And I love it for that. But everything else about it is just very bad for me. And I'm realizing it now. And it's so freeing, like, to not have it on my phone anymore and not have it on one of my 2 iPads anymore, and just have it on my iPad mini. So like when I'm going out and I need to post something or I need to do something for like one of my other accounts, it's work and I'll do it.
Right.
I'm good with it. But
that's
in terms
so
of
intentional.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
that.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
appreciate
smart. Seriously. That's funny. I've been sort of trying to figure out my cocktail of where social media fits in my life. You know, like
Sure.
Should I set limits? Should I take it off of my phone? I took Facebook off of my phone just because I felt like it was just this like negative stuff, like from people I don't even talk to anymore. Like, why? And then with Instagram, honestly, I don't know if they took off like the like count feature for everyone, but I'm noticing most of the people that I follow, and my account included, are now hiding the like count. And I think for some reason that feels very freeing for me, because it made me realize there are some posts that I make where I am hoping more people will see it, more people will like it, and give me that like validation. And I know I'm not alone in that. So that has definitely helped with it. But it's just, the thing I'm realizing about social media more and more is it's not doing, I think, what it should be doing, which is connecting people. It is doing that. But the thing that it's doing the most of is controlling sort of our moods, right? Because it's like you open the app and you see one cool thing and you're like, oh, that's my friend thriving, like, and then the next thing is like something horrible, dark is happening in the world. You see something about that. Then you go down a rabbit hole of like looking into that, like looking at people's, and it's just like negative loop. And there's so much input, and it really affects, I mean, at least for me, it really affects my output. Like it makes me like not pick up my guitar, not sit and write and like actually just like connect with myself. It just takes away from so much. So yeah, I'm definitely looking to lessen my intake as well. And that's a really smart way to look at it, is like having an iPad that is for work, because like I've always wondered this, like people that don't create content or don't create music in a way that like you need people to interact with it, right? Like if I quit music altogether, like I would also quit social media, because to me it's like that's the reason I have it, you know? So then anyway, going back to what you were saying, why is it on my personal phone when I'm trying to use it just for work, you know? It's like it's an easy thing to just slip into. So yeah. Anyway, there's
100%.
my like boomer rant of the day. Jeez.
Look, it's super helpful to hear, honestly, from others. It really is. It really is.
I'm
like
glad.
It's because like we go through similar things, you know, along our journey, and it's like for me, I've learned from other people, like other things. Maybe it works for me, maybe it doesn't. But hearing about it is like, oh well, I haven't thought of that before. Let's consider it, type of a thing. And even just what you just said just now, like I didn't even think of it as, oh, this is my work iPad. I never even thought of it that way. But well, damn it, that's exactly what it is. It's a work iPad. It's like that's what I'm doing on here. I'm doing more of the creation or like the work aspect of creating, whereas like the fun art stuff or music stuff or whatever, I can do that on my, and I'm blessed to say, I mean, I have 2 iPads. What do I have 2 iPads for? Now I have a reason to actually say that I have 2. It's like, this is my work iPad, actually, okay?
Yeah,
this one's for fun. This is, you know, so I think that's good. And these conversations have been, just very, almost therapeutic, I think, too, especially the ones that have been, you know, with other, it's been specific with other Twitch streamers, like maybe 9 or 10 or so that I've done now in the past, like in this current run. And it's helped me realize that, okay, I wanted to sort of focus in. I've been hearing the word niche down your content. Not anyone specific to me, but like reading about how to brand yourself and stuff like that. That's an important thing. And I'm like, well, I really, 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 really enjoy these conversations with other creators because I learn. I think they learn. I think they enjoy. I enjoy. And it's just dope for us to now have this footage that we can look back like a year or two later and be like, yo, this is where we were a couple of years ago. Like, look where we are now. Like, we got Instagram off our phone, done. We got the work iPad ready to go. Only use it twice a week or whatever the case is. Like, that's really exciting to me. Like, to know that. And then the other part of it is like thinking about, you know, what can I bring to the table that's different than the rest of people that are bringing things to the table, and something that's true to me and something that I enjoy, all that type of stuff. And with these conversations, I was really contemplating and figuring out, do I continue doing these? Because at a time I was like, well, the views on these are a lot significantly lower than the views on like a product tutorial unboxing video that people are searching for. And I'm like, all right, well, if I'm trying to grow my channel, but the amount of enjoyment I have with these conversations versus like one of those other types of videos, those other videos I enjoy those as well. The conversations I enjoy immensely, like a lot more. And so for me, it turned into one of those things where I'm like, this is, you know, I'm thinking that I want to kind of, originally I was thinking about focusing less on the conversations and more on the videos that people are searching for, because that's how you get bigger on YouTube and all that stuff. Now I'm thinking, and I'm gonna bring an idea to you that I want your honest opinion on. Okay. In just a second. But now I'm thinking of kind of the opposite of that a little bit. It's like now I want to get this set up to be able to do these conversations like, you know, maybe once a month and have the 3 or 4 something like that in a day, like I did today. Spread them out, and then like spend more time getting the finished product looking and sounding even better than maybe what I've done in the past. Because in the past, I'm kind of like just going through the motions a little bit. Now I want to like go through it, take my time, make sure it like is right, make sure there's no issues there. And then maybe more importantly, or just as important, is, and this is the part that I kind of am terrible at because I just don't have the patience for it, but like really spend time saying like after this conversation, I'm going to be like, it's fresh on my mind. I remember a part of this talk that really hit home. And I'm like, all right, this is some part that I want to be able to turn into like shareable content, so that people, because everyone's not going to watch it the full length, but like for me to be able to say, okay, this is a shorter kind of clip. That's like time well spent, I think, to be able to, you know, do something like that. I'll pause for a second, get some insight from you, and then I'll tell you about the idea that I have that I want to get your opinion on.
Sweet. Okay. That's, I mean, the best advice that I've seen online about Twitch streaming, like long form videos, is the point, not the point, but like the reason why you have all of this footage. Like, you had so much fun, there's so much that happened, why not find those really great moments and make little pieces of content for other sites? Because that way you can actually be discovered on, you know, because you have your Twitch community, right? Like, that's your like family. They're gonna be there through thick and thin, and that's the best thing about Twitch is the community. Both your own community and like just the whole music community as a whole is amazing. But then to be able to take what you're doing on Twitch and share it out there, you know, it's like that's kind of where I've seen at least like real growth happen for people. So I think that's a great way to look at these too, is like try to like find little nuggets of wisdom from each person, you know, and then just kind of like make it into some more content. Like, I think that's a great idea.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I know on YouTube right now, and I'm hopeful that they might expand upon this feature, but on YouTube now there is a way to go to any regular YouTube video and click on I think it's a create button and it's on the vast majority of videos. For some reason, it's not on every single one. I'm not exactly sure why, but I can click on this create button and then instantly it's going to stop the video at the moment that you're at. And then it basically allows you to turn the audio from any video, like this is going to be a full length video. I can turn this audio into a YouTube short, which I think is amazing because that's exactly what we're talking about. But then it's not even a but. It's like now I just need to like figure out what is the video, what's an idea of like of a visually appealing something on the screen that people are going to see as they're listening to the audio. If there was a way to get this video and do that as a short, that would be even better. And like you can like adjust it so that, you know, one person on top of another kind of thing. You know, that whole otherwise like rotate the whole thing sideways and people have to like turn that. It's like we don't want any of that type of thing.
No one does that anymore. They're like
right, later for that. But so that's there. So I looked at that. I mean, finding an amazing picture of you from your Instagram page, and I can use that picture while the audio is playing, and then do like a little pan or something, so it's like moving, so it's not just a static thing. That it's about experimenting, right, and just kind of figuring out like and just kind of seeing what works. But to that point, the idea that I had is I posted something on YouTube Shorts the other day, and I think it said like beautiful chords to chill to or something like that, because like a chord progression that I played and it was sounding dope. I was actually wearing the same.
I saw that
shirt.
Actually.
Oh, did you on YouTube? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I clicked on it because I was like, "What are these chords?"
Yeah, right.
Like I was curious.
Right, good. Just from the title, right? It's like, okay, this is actually interesting. So it like skyrocketed. You know, it goes from like, you know, no like a couple views, and then like if it gets picked up on the short shelf, it like skyrockets because a whole bunch of people are looking at it and they start promoting it more and stuff. So like you got like a 1.1K views like in a really, really short amount of time. So what I was thinking is, and this is like my whole thing right now, I'm like, all right, I love doing those are fun videos for me, like playing some chord progression, but I also have like the kind of, I don't know, like funny side and like a little bit quirky, like you used that word a little bit, you know, earlier. A lot of people don't know that about me, but like I like weird things and funny things and stuff like that. So I was thinking about like making like a series of these and seeing how they do, and doing like chords or blank chords, but chords to and then something to, or like for example, chords to clean up to, or like things that don't make any sense. Like why would you need to hear these chords in order to clean up? Some of them can be random like that, and then perhaps some of them could even be like a little bit more like analytical. Like I can kind of look at obviously sad chords, happy chords, suspenseful chords, that type of thing, and like put a activity or a task that has to do with that. And I think if someone sees that title, they'll be like, all right, I'm kind of curious about what this is, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think it would work. I think first, if you commit to something, it's going to work, you know? I mean, obviously it has to make sense. You're not going to be like, songs to make your day great. And then it's like the most minor sounding, like sad stuff. Yeah. Like, obviously it has to sort of like go along that vibe, but I think that's a super good idea. Like a really great idea.
I'm going to start it tonight. I'm going to post another one, I think, tonight. Because I think that'll be just fun to do. And that's the type of stuff like, that I want to start doing.
Yeah. And I mean, for like, you know, if you're doing like a chords to cook to, you could just like put on an apron and like be playing, you know, and like, but it's not like the focus of the video, but it's like there, or like songs to clean to, there's like a little mop in the background or something. Like
that's actually that's genius.
Little, just like a
little something where it's like it makes it a little bit more. I love it, like a chef apron or like a chef hat, and like a broom just sitting in the corner. That's
pans
good
up
stuff.
to you and you're wearing like this tall sous chef.
That's amazing. You just helped me discover something. It's like
10%.
It's like the
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, you know what? Look, all right.
I'm totally kidding.
Okay. Well, if you were serious, I would have to say let's talk to my agent. Let's figure something out.
Yeah, send it past your board of directors.
Exactly.
Just let me know.
Because you know we both have one of those, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're out there actually.
Exactly.
They've been listening this whole time.
I kind of believe you. I'm not sure. Like, I kind of believe you.
No.
Okay. No.
The curtain did move at one point, but that was my dog. There's no...
Got it. I love the idea so much. I'm very excited to start that.
But that, you know, it's ideas like that. It's like how to take some like normal things and make them into like fun, silly content, like stuff you do every day, you know?
Yeah.
And stuff you enjoy, because that, I guess, to sort of like put a button on the whole like Twitch stream, like everything content creation, Twitch streaming, if you're not enjoying it, people know. They can tell, they can read, people can see, you know, when you're not like being super genuine. You have to just do what you want. And I mean, obviously sprinkled in some of the stuff like, unboxing. But I'm sure you find enjoyment in that too. It's like, it's cool because it's both searchable. People are searching it, but you're also enjoying yourself, So I think though that is like the priority in everything that we do. It should be to just enjoy it.
That should be the most important. Yeah, you're so right. And that's quite, telling and interesting and insightful. For you to make the comment about like people knowing, because it is true. It is true when you're like in a good mood and you're in a good vibe in a good space, like that's kind of infectious. People I think like seeing that because that's gonna maybe help get them through maybe some challenges, like you're like brightening their day type of a thing. And that's really interesting. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like to take everything, like I was saying earlier, all like the negativity on Instagram, whatever, like you don't want to spread that, right? Like what that feels like to like feel that like sadness, so it's like why not use it to just spread joy and happiness and like positivity, or just be super like genuine. Like if you're gonna present something like I guess just make people feel seen and heard. Like why else do we want a platform than to use it for good and for people to feel good and feel validated,
That's so true. Question for you. So if you had a chance to, I like asking this question, but it's very challenging for some people. But I'll ask it. You'll let me know what you think. It's not that challenging, really. It's just there's a lot of different people you can choose. But if you had a chance to have dinner with anyone spanning the course of time, who would you love to have dinner with?
Oh my God, I think Bill Withers. He's my favorite.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Musician. He's so wise. He was like my dream was to meet him. Well, him and Prince, but like Bill Withers, just you listen to him speak and he's just the most wise person. He always says the right thing. And it's a rare quality. He's so witty, he's so funny, has so much life experience. Like he started being, as a musician way later in life. So he lived a lot of life.
Yep. He was like an airline mechanic or something, right?
Yeah. That's
wild.
how he wrote like Ain't No Sunshine just like in a closet and had to remember it until he could like sit down and he's just such an inspiration. So I'd probably pick him.
Yeah.
I was so heartbroken when he passed. Like, oh my God. That was a hard day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, he was I didn't know much about his story. Until recently. I watched a documentary called The Black Godfather, and it was on Netflix, and it's... Uh-oh, you froze a little bit. You can still hear me, right?
You froze too.
Oh,
yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It is, it's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. It's a person that most of us have never heard about, who just knew everyone in the industry and outside of the industry, just like people of prominence. And he was like a person who only had a high school education, and he was instrumental in Bill Withers' career, actually, and things like that, amongst a whole bunch of other things. So that was the first time that I had a chance to really like hear a little bit more about, Bill Withers, and that was so inspiring. Like I love stories like that about people like much later in life. Like that sounded like me, like much later in life, like engineering and teaching and now doing music stuff, which I'm super passionate about, and again blessed that I have the ability and the time now to be able to pour into the passion. So I loved hearing that, and that's quite the profound description that you gave of him as well.
Yeah, he's like top tier. But you cut out for a second. What was the documentary that you watched?
Oh yeah, so it's called The Black Godfather, and it's on Netflix.
Who's it about? You said.
What's the guy's name again?
Didn't he just get inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking.
Recently, and
I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah, his wife. His wife got murdered recently as well, which is crazy.
Oh
He's
my
like
God,
a much.
No.
Yeah. So that happened right around the time the documentary came out. I'm drawing. We're gonna look it up right now.
Gotta look him up. Yeah. What's his name?
We gotta find out the name here. Black Godfather.
I gotta watch. I'm watching that tonight.
You will be. Yeah, I think. I'm just so glad my mom recommended I watch it. Because.
Reginald.
Clarence Avant.
Clarence.
There you go.
Clarence.
Yep. Clarence Avant. You'll be. I mean, you got people like Bill Clinton. They're playing like a little clip of it. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama. You have like these prominent people, like the head of Coca-Cola, and like all these people.
Muhammad
that are
Ali, right?
Yeah, different spaces, and it was just. And I love stuff. as someone who it might seem as though, as you know, being a content creator and making stuff and being, you know, front facing and streaming and all that stuff, I do value being in the I was gonna say being in the shadows, like I get like Batman or something. Like being in the shadows.
Lurking.
Yeah, exactly. Like just being over there. Yeah. I do enjoy that, you know, to an extent.
It's like a sense of mystery and like privacy. Honestly, same here.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. It's tough to find that balance though.
Yeah.
As someone, I mean, I think people see me and they think I'm like super outgoing, and I am. Like I'm outgoing. I wouldn't say I'm extroverted.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
You know, I think I'm more like introvert. I need the time to like recharge, but even so, like it's been tough for me to find like a balance of like what to share online, because Twitch is such a, you know, person to person platform. It's hard to know like, you know, where I am most comfortable. Like
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. It's like a journey of like figuring out and you know, I think we do know when we know, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Like we'll know it, you know, and we'll kind of be like, all right, well, this feels right. You know, this feels like the right space. So I saw something really cool too, that like your Twitch setup got like remodeled or something like a while. I don't know how long ago it was, but tell me about that experience.
A few months ago.
Really cool.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, we were talking about this mic, like, right when we came on. Like, this was a product of that awesome experience.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, basically, Dr. Pepper was looking to spoil some streamers and give them some serious upgrades. Wow. And they found me and just kind of were like, hey, do you want a Dr. Pepper level up? I'm like, that sounds great, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And the more they told me, I'm like, what's the catch? You know, like, what do I owe you? They're like, no, we're just going to come over and like, what do you need? Like, what's your dream setup? Like, make a list of everything for your music career, for your streaming setup, everything. And I was like, okay. And again, the whole time I'm like pinching myself.
Yeah,
and then they show up, do the thing, and I walk in here and it's like a totally different setup, and like almost everything in here they touched and did something awesome. Like even the
so
curtain,
cool.
they gave me like, before it was gray, and they were like, it needs to be more bright and open, so they did a purple one, and then the lights can change colors now. It's just like, it was mind-blowing. Yeah,
that is so I'm genuinely
it was such a
thrilled.
blessing. Like,
yeah, like how did like that, like you said, things like that don't happen that often, where there's like no strings attached kind of thing.
Oh, I had like some major imposter syndrome. I'm like, why me? You know? But then it was just like, I'm gonna use this, and I'm going to just like, I mean, again, it's just a huge blessing for the stream. Like, everybody's gonna be so excited with me, and it's gonna be like, it's a gift to the community too, you know?
Yeah,
and just trying to like, you know. Yeah, again, I'm still pinching myself that I'm in this space, but hey.
That's so cool.
3 years ago, I like didn't even know what Twitch was, and like after that experience, it really was this like, you're really like doing this. Like, you really found something that you it's your career, it's your love, it's your passion, it's something that you're going to keep growing, cuz you know, as you know, every stream you're like discovering one new thing you like, or like some new, like I recently started adding I have this app called Groovebox. It's got these great drum samples, and I'm adding drums to my like looper and like making it, you know what I mean? Like there's always things to grow and yeah. So
that's
but the level up was like the most insane thing ever. Could not have dreamed that.
I'm saying to get noticed like that, you know, I mean, certainly they had to they had to find you somehow. They found you from, I imagine, you know, on Twitch or on your socials, and saying, oh, let's check out some of what she's doing, and like seeing something where they're like, yo, this is really good stuff as is. Imagine this with, you know, X, Y, and Z equipment. Like, that's really, really awesome. I'm genuinely happy to hear that. Very happy. That's fire. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, there's the dog.
Penny.
Yes.
Hello, Penny.
Oh, Penny. Nice. What's
she
up,
never
Penny?
comes in here.
Penny,
do you like... You like Khordmaster? Yeah.
What's up, Penny?
You want the headphones?
Yeah, right. She's like, let me
cute.
get. She's like, I got a couple questions real quick for Khordmaster.
Yeah, she's like, hey. Yeah, remember the board of directors? They've been.
There it is.
All right, there she goes. She's out.
There it is.
She's done her duties.
That was like a quick cameo. Like, that's all
that
was.
She's like, just a couple pets. Thank you so much.
Right.
I'm out.
That's. Let me ask you a question.
That's funny.
I've been doing these, and I'd love to get your opinion. I've been doing live premieres of these conversations after the fact. So the way this would normally work is like, a couple of weeks after we chat here, I would like edit it and then hit you up and be like, hey, does this Thursday work for you for the live premiere on YouTube so that you and I and, your community, my community can all watch together and chat and all that stuff. And that was actually causing a little bit anxiety for me. It was a little bit of like pressure to like I was definitely caring about like who shows up to the live and making sure that I'm also present for the live. So that's like another quote unquote like task that I have to, not really a task but kind of sort of, right, like engage in the chat and all that kind of stuff where I can't like do something else, like I have to be doing that at that moment. And then I think the nail in the coffin the other day was realizing that I heard from a couple different people on the YouTube algorithm that that they've tried to do this YouTube premiere thing, which is YouTube's idea of saying like, people love watching things in the world and live tweeting about it like on regular TV. So we should have something where you can premiere a video and everyone watch it live and then it becomes like a regular video after. But it turns out that there's been like a lot of really adverse effects on the algorithm perspective on live premiere videos versus just regular released videos. So to that point, which was very fascinating. I didn't realize that, but I was like listening to it. I'm like, all right, this is like a sign that I need to kind of maybe switch things up a little bit. So what I'm thinking, and it kind of happened through when we released Raquel's video, and it was just really cool how he did it. And I'm going to kind of throw it to the streamers to see how they prefer to do it. But ultimately, she had her stream going on, and she like put like a few minutes of the video up during her stream, and it was just mad cool for me to like, and she was like doing live commentary, like actual live talking commentary, because she was on the bottom and then she was, we were in the main kind of thing there. And then she was like, give me a shout out, like whoever, is interested, like afterwards, blah, 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 check Khordmaster's channel out. And so for me, I'm thinking that it would be dope to not do a live premiere on my YouTube channel, because I'll say this too. Part of the reason I wanted to do that was because I cared about, bringing people to my YouTube channel. Now, I don't care about that really at all anymore. Only people who want to check the content out and who are interested, like those are the people that I kind of care to come over. So now I'm thinking, instead of a live premiere, I'll do like just have the same exact every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time is when a new episode comes out. And then I would reach out to you and say, hey, if you have a live stream going on shortly after that, or the next day or the next few days or whenever, whenever the next live stream is after it comes out, essentially, if you're interested in playing a part of it or having the your actual live stream, an hour worth of it being like, hey guys, we're going to watch Khordmaster's thing. We're going to watch it together or whatever. Obviously I would show up and hang out or whatever. I'll throw that to like the live streamers, whatever works better for them and their community. But I'm thinking that makes a little bit more sense, because now it's kind of like it's the ball's in the streamer's court to kind of however they see fit. And I can kind of just coast. I'll hop in for a little bit, maybe hop out, whatever. And I don't have to like have that anxiety of how many people are watching this premiere right now.
Honestly, that's funny. I've done premieres too, and it's like I've done them live on stream, and I'm like, why am I not just like playing the video? Like, yeah. So I would love to do it that way. Just like maybe like clip a small thing, like a couple minutes of this, and then I'll be like, just here, like have a command in chat, like here's the link if you want to check it out later or whatever.
That's awesome.
I think that'd be better.
Yeah.
Because then I can, then it's just available and we share it. It's not, that's what I've learned. I mean, nowadays, like people just want the thing. They don't want like the build up. They just want the thing, especially with videos like this and stuff,
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm down with that.
That's so true.
For sure.
That's awesome. All right. So I'm going to be respectful of your time. And I just want to say one more thing, that I truly enjoy the conversation, and I'm truly appreciative and glad that you reached back out. And I really enjoy watching you do what you're doing. It's been inspiring. And I'm, like I mentioned earlier, just in that space of like letting people know now, not to get sentimental, but it's important, I think, to let people know like what type of impact they have, because that's what possibly can, drive them and make them feel good to kind of continue doing what they're doing. So
it does. I mean, on the harder days like that, it's those type of comments that really like bring you back up and like keep you going. So it really, really means a lot, seriously. And thank you for setting this up. Thank you for having me on. I feel so honored that you reached out, and I love what you're doing. Every little thing you're doing. And I can't wait to see those new videos.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Amazing content ideas.
I'm gonna say brought to you by Carmela.tv, like on the first one or something. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
No, don't.
No, like sponsored by.
I'm a ghostwriter.
Okay, got it.
We'll do something else together.
Yeah,
maybe I'll
for
sing
sure.
over your beautiful chords or something.
That would actually be mad fun. We have to actually do that. You said it now. It's on record. We have to do it.
It's on. See, there you go.
There it is. There it is.
Thank you so much, my friend. So nice to chat with you.
It was such a pleasure, such a pleasure. And I look forward to, I say it all the time and I'll just keep saying it. Like, I look forward to the next live stream that you have that I'm able to go to and hop in, because it's a different vibe now that we like know each other, you know?
Exactly. I totally agree. Yeah. I'm going to hop on yours too. I'll just sneak attack.
Yeah. Like, hey, what's up? Remember me?
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey.
Oh man, well, have an awesome rest of your night, my friend, and I'll see you next time. Okay.
You too. Bye.
Bye.